What if I told you that you too can hit dominating forehands with compact modern technique just like the players you see on screen right now? In today's video, I want to show you how I helped one of Germany's best junior players transform a weak forehand with an inefficient big backswing into a powerful forehand with compact modern technique that still allows him to maximize racket head speed. So let's take a closer look at how we fixed this for David and how you too can develop efficient technique with maximum racket head speed. Okay, step one in the OTI method is always diagnosis. We want to show the player what they're doing right now and what they should be doing instead. Now, just as importantly, we want to explain why this change is important in the long run for their game. So that's exactly what I did in the first video review for David and his father, Christian. Let's have a look at that. Hey David and Christian, it's Florian, online tennis instruction. I'm going to review David's forehand here. He's already doing a lot of things well. He's got good power, but at the same time, he's got a big inefficiency here that's costing him a lot of time and forces him to stand far behind the baseline, which we see right here. But let's look at what he's doing well first. Good grip, very much in the acceptable range. You know, he's loading the body segments properly. He's getting on the inside here so that he can swing inside out from close to the body to away from the body to generate power. He's also using the lower body effectively. Legs are bent, and now he's uncoiling, front leg straightens out. So he's already sequentially coiling and uncoiling the body segments quite effectively. So what is the big problem here? The big problem is the height of his backswing. If you look at this, the hand is above his head. And this is a big inefficiency because it costs a lot of time and it does not add racket head speed. That's why you don't see top forehands like Carlos Alcaraz or Yannick Sinner with this type of backswing. In fact, the backswings are getting shorter and more compact because the game is getting faster. Now there's another inefficiency here. He's taking the hand past his shoulder on a right-left axis. Once again, that does not add racket head speed. Junior players will often do this because they think it adds racket head speed, but it's an inefficient way to swing, and it also does not add racket head speed. So that's the primary thing that we need to address first. Step two in the OTI method is always fixing it with progressions. So many players make the mistake of trying to implement a new technique at full speed right away. It just does not work. So I had David do shadow swings in the beginning. We didn't film those, but basically he's focusing on not taking the hand above his shoulder. And then from this angle, he's also focusing on not taking the hand past the shoulder line here in the back and just doing some slow shadow swings, exaggerating the correction. And then from shadow swings, he did a couple of drop feeds, and then we quickly moved on to basket feeds, which you can see right here. His dad is feeding very predictable balls from the basket, and the instruction I'm giving David here is to pretend he's hitting a half volley. Now, if you're not that familiar with half volleys, we can show one up here, but basically on a half volley, you take the ball so early, that's usually when you move forward and the ball lands just in front of you, and you have to abbreviate the motion. You have to have a super short and compact motion. After the basket feeds, we started some rallying at very slow speeds, as you can see here. He is now continuing to try to shorten that backswing. I'm continuing to tell him to focus on a half volley backswing, and it's pretty good. He definitely gets bigger on the backswing. For example, right here, look how the hand is above shoulder level right here. And that's okay. I just continue to remind him about that, and he continues to focus on that. And there are quite a few here where he does not go too big. And we just make sure we start at a very slow speed again here. This is definitely too big. So even for somebody as talented as David, it was not super easy to do this correctly right away. As you can see, David reverted a little bit when we went to the live ball, and this was controlled hitting at a slow speed for his level, and yet he still went a little bit higher than with the basket feeds. This is absolutely normal, but I just want to re-emphasize why it is so important that you go through these progressions step by step, and also ideally that you have somebody monitor that for you, or you self-analyze. You film yourself on a regular basis Please trust me when I say that your feeling is misleading. I guarantee you David's feeling at this point was that his hand was down here, but it was still above shoulder level. It was higher than we want it to be. And that's because every small change feels huge to you. So when you are working on something like this and you start the live ball rally, exaggerate. You gotta be willing to make it feel awkward. Make it feel like your hand is down here when you're used to having your hand up here, and most likely then you'll be in the right spot in the middle. So after some initial down the line rallying with a new technique at a slow speed, we now went ahead and started some cross-court rallies, which is usually a little bit more challenging when you're making that change. So we incrementally increase the difficulty level. Now here I'm standing behind him and I'm constantly telling him to focus on that half volley swing, which he's doing a really good job of it. If you look at this right here, you can see the hand is below shoulder level. The hand does not cross the shoulder axis back here. So this is a really good short compact motion. So we did a few more sessions like that. And then it was time to switch the focus a little bit to movement. What can happen is when you focus on technique from a stationary position, and then you go back to more live ball, your feet are not active enough. And so that's something we focused on here. You have to find the balance between very active feet to the ball. I'm telling him about the balance between very active feet before the shot and then remaining balanced and having more quiet feet and legs during the shot. That's very important. At first, we needed to just get his feet more active before shots, but then during the shot, he needs to be stable and he cannot be moving around with his feet anymore. So that's what we were focusing on here. But the key point for you to take away is after a while of stationary hitting, focusing on new technique, you do need to bring your attention back to footwork.
Yes.
Since then, David has, of course, implemented that new forehand in point play. You can see him here playing in an indoor tournament during that season when we made the changes. And here, he's hitting really nice forehands, as you can see with the short, compact motion, which is incredibly important on the fast indoor court here. So really nice forehand technique. Finally, I want to show you a clip here of some forehand cross-court practice with a really good practice partner. Just listen to the sound. You can hear a good technique by the sound of the hit. This is a very solid hit for a 13-year-old. And here is some footage from club tennis the following summer. He's playing against adults here, 18, 19-year-olds that are seriously competing as well. And he's really dominating with that forehand as a 13-year-old. As you can see, he's aggressive with it. It's become second nature. The muscle memory is there. And yeah, it's going really well. So as you can see, David now has a massive forehand. It is a really big weapon and he dominates entire matches with it, which was absolutely not the case before. Now, David already came to us with very strong fundamentals. A lot of you watching don't have fundamentals of that level yet, and at the same time, maybe your problem, and most likely your problem, is not the big backswing. You might have a totally different problem. And that's where number one, personalized video feedback from highly trained specialists like our team is the most effective and quickest way to fix your technique. At the same time, you can of course also go through it step by step and rebuild your fundamentals. And somewhere here is a video linked up that James made, the perfect forehand in 8 steps. It's incredibly popular and it's helped a lot of players develop solid forehand fundamentals. So I'd highly recommend you go ahead and watch that video now.